What's up, YouTube? Dragon Speed Shop here, bringing you a continuation on the hemi cuda. But before this video begins, I want to say a huge thank you to all my subscribers I have out there. You guys are freaking awesome. I can't express it enough how much it actually means to me that you guys are hitting that like button, leaving me comments, subscribing to me. It helps me out very much, and I really do appreciate it. I can't say that enough. But today's video we are gonna do, I guess we'll talk about washes and show you how I do them and stuff like that. Washes will show a little bit more dimension into the models, and what I really mean by that is these cars are so small that they don't show any shadows or anything else when you're in a competition or anything like that. So this adds just that little bit next level that the judges may catch on to, that it looks more realistic and everything like that, and it adds just that much more. Promise me, I'll show you what I mean here. We'll start off on the body here. I haven't polished this body yet. I usually like to do this before and usually after, but in with my little solo red cups, I have some acrylic apple barrel black with some water, reduced pretty down. It's pretty watery down, but see if we can get this in here just right. Get that out of the way. Easy, it's a pretty small brush. I've cut most of the bristles out just for this purpose, but just run down the lines carefully. You don't want to get too far ahead of yourself, because this may dry up on you. And then I just take a Q-tip, make sure it's all cleaned off. I do apologize now if I sound a little bit weird. I just barely getting over a cold, and today's the first day that I've actually felt decent enough to do anything. So just watch those lines. You may notice, there's going to be a little bit of residue left on your body. Just kind of take your Q-tip, it'll polish right off. So let's see if we can catch that on camera. Adds a nice black detail in the body lines. It actually kind of makes it look like the trunk actually opens, or something like that. So among doing door jams and stuff, you'll probably go through quite a few Q-tips. There we go. I'll also do inside this handle, in the lock, just kind of put it on there. And this you're not going to have to press real hard. It's going to add just a little bit of detail. I ended up wiping just a little bit too much out, that I didn't quite like that. So that's usually the first thing I like to do. You may look at it and you may end up doing this twice. I know I have on a couple models before. The other thing, especially on this car, I know I'm going to end up painting in these louvers. So if you're not, you know, and inside grills and stuff, I'll do it again. I still got to paint like the inside of the grill, but I'll do another black wash inside there to add a little bit more detail just inside those louvers and stuff that are in the groove, you know. So you get the gist on, you know, it's pretty easy. I'm not going to do up the windows and stuff because that's going to go bare metal foil that we'll get into one of these videos. So next thing I'll do is like on suspension and stuff, you know, where it's not black, just adding, you know, a little bit of wash into these lines, and then just taking your Q-tip, and you know, you can leave it on as heavy as you want or as dark as you want, you know, that's up to you. You know, how detailed you want that to be, or how vibrant, I guess you could say, you know, stuff like that. The other thing are these little Q-tips from Tamiya. They, you know, you can get into these corners, and you know, if it's a little too dark for your taste, you know, you can get in there a little bit nicer, you know, but just adding a little bit of black in those, a little bit of this wash, you know, it makes a world of difference. You know, one that's really going to make a difference is these wheels. They've got a lot of detail and stuff, but they're all just chrome. So, you know, putting black inside these circles, you know, you don't have to be real perfect about it. Just slop it in there. You know, and then take your Q-tip and wipe it out. You know, this is going to get inside, you know, these lug nuts. Put a nice little black ring around the lug nuts, you know. That's going to show a lot of dimension. I don't know if dimension is the right word. My head's still in a fog. But I guess a lot more detail, you know. Just go real lightly, you know. So I can see where these little tiny Q-tips come in handy, you know, getting in between the holes and getting all that out, you know. You know, just take your time. You know, it's chrome. It's gonna polish off regardless. You know. Yeah, you can kind of see. Let's see if we can bring that up. See how much more difference that. Yeah, more difference. How much better that looks, you know, compared to real life and plastic chrome with no little bit of detail, you know, in those parts. And do this on everything, you know. We'll get a little bit more here, a little bit bigger of a brush, you know, on this motor. And yep, you know, there's a look for you, a nice dirty greasy motor, you know, instead of a nice perfectly clean one. I'm just gonna go through and kind of roughly clean this off. You know, once you see it start smudging on you, just grab another Q-tip. I do have a coat of clear on this, so it's gonna wipe off pretty nice. You know, this is where where you can decide how much black you want to leave and how much you don't want. And you know, you want this to look like a brand new motor, or do you want it to look like, you know, something that's ran for quite a while, you know? Now you can kind of see there's just a little bit of detail, a little bit of black underneath the heads, a little bit, you know, right there on the oil pan. You know, what's really going to come into effect here, excuse me, is on intakes. Gonna add a lot of shadows. Sorry about that. You know, I want this to look like this is a brand new motor, you know, fresh out of the factory. It's, you know, had its first couple initial fires. So I just want a little tiny bit of black, a little bit of wash. I don't want it real heavy, but I do want, you know, a little bit of detail. I don't know how well the camera is going to pick that up, but adds just a little bit more. You know, I can come back, you know, take my Q-tip and a little polishing compound or whatever, and after it dries, and polish everything that's I don't want there. But you know, if you just take your time and do this right, you'll come to find out that it will add quite a bit of detail to your motor. You know, I would you know, wash the whole thing. I'll wash the bottom of the floor pan. I haven't painted the gas tank yet from our last video because I got a little sick, but you know, just anywhere you think that's gonna need a little bit more detail, you know, give it a little wash. It's not gonna hurt anything. If you don't like it, go wash it underneath the water. It comes all off and you won't try again, you know. But yeah, that's gonna be kind of it for me. I really do appreciate you guys, you know, for hitting that like button, hit that subscribe button for me. It helps me out a lot, and thank you everybody, and I'm out.